Hotels are known within the paranormal community to be a hotbed for supernatural activities. From grisly murders to multiple suicides, hotels witness some of the most gruesome deaths of people from all walks of life. And with these deaths, ghost stories and encounters naturally follow. With this in mind, here are 2 terrifying paranormal experiences in hotels, as described by the experiencers. Myself and my fiancé are originally from Dublin, Ireland. However, I currently live in the suburbs, while he lives in Cork. Once every month, he pays me a visit for a long weekend. He usually will rent a room in the city, and on Saturday nights, me and my sister will go out together with him. Usually we'll get food and visit a few bars. About 3 months ago, he paid me a visit as usual. He made reservations at the Shelburne Hotel, situated in the heart of Dublin, overlooking the magnificent St. Stephen's Green. The Shelburne is an aristocratic hotel that has welcomed royalty, celebrities, and politicians. In fact, the Constitution of Ireland was drafted in room 112, in 1922. My fiancé checked in around 3 p.m., while me and my sister met him around 7:30. We ordered some takeout, and relaxed a little, while watching a football match. Around 10 p.m., we went to the bars and had a great time. We called it a night around 3 a.m. and returned to the hotel. There was only one bed in the room, a king-sized bed, and we somehow managed to share it, because my sister couldn't drive back to the suburbs alone that night. I was on the side of the bed, closest to the bathroom. The room was not too big, so the bathroom was only a few feet away. Sometime around 9 a.m., I woke up and saw a figure, that of a child, a little girl, at the end of the bed corner. At first I thought I was asleep still. I blinked, and she was still there. Both my fiancé and my sister were in bed. I nudged my fiancé next to me, asking him to look and see what I was seeing. Of course it took quite a few nudges for him to wake up. By the time he sat up a little, the figure was gone. It had walked into the bathroom. I got up and looked in the bathroom. It was empty. The door of the hotel room was shut. There were only the 3 of us in the room. I eventually went back to sleep. Around 11 a.m., we checked out and went out to have breakfast. We talked about the previous night while we sat at the table. The people we ran into at the bars, how much money we spent, and how much money we hopefully had left. Then, my fiancé asked me what kind of dream I had earlier that morning. He assumed it was a dream. I described what I had seen. My sister, shocked at what I had just described, explained how she had also seen the figure of a little girl sometime earlier that morning, but she couldn't move or speak, no matter how hard she tried. When she eventually could move her body again, the figure was gone. Apparently, the only person who didn't see anything was my fiancé. I know that what I saw could be dismissed as just a dream, a result of me still being hazy that morning. But I wasn't hungover by any means, and the fact that my sister saw the same thing too. We both couldn't possibly have had exactly the same dream, on exactly the same morning. That would be really strange indeed. I'm pretty sure of what I saw, and my sister is also pretty sure of what she saw. This experience happened about 20 years ago to a guy I was dating back then. His name is Viraj. He is currently a professor at Jawaharlal Nehru University in New Delhi, but at the time, he was a sales manager in a manufacturing firm. His job entailed quite a bit of travel, and he'd sometimes combine his trips in order to save time. His travels, and my busy schedule meant we didn't get to spend as much time together as we wanted. So, on one occasion while he was traveling, we decided to meet in Erode, a city in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. He informed me that he would arrive Erode on Monday, and would be staying at Hotel Sangam, while I was going to get there early on Tuesday morning. I got to the hotel very early on Tuesday morning, and found him outside, smoking. This was really odd, because he was not a smoker, and he also looked visibly worried. I asked him what happened. He told me he arrived Erode after midnight, and went to book a room. The receptionist on duty told him that there were no rooms available, except for a 5-bedded room. Viraj accepted to take the room, hoping that the next day we would change to a single-bedded room. So he went to the room, and decided to take a shower before going to bed. During the shower though, he started hearing noises coming from the room, as if 3 or 4 people were talking, discussing among themselves. He came out of the bathroom to check, but saw no one in the room. He went back into the shower and continued bathing, but he started hearing the discussion noises yet again. He couldn't make out what they were saying though. So he came out to check again, and just like before, he saw no one. At this point he thought his mind was playing tricks on him, probably because he was tired. He finished taking his bath and went to bed. He was in bed but could not get sleep, still hearing the voices, and at this point it was as though they were quarreling. He also heard what sounded like someone was crying. He decided to check outside the room to see whether there was anyone in the corridor. But he saw no one, given that it was already way past midnight. He went back to bed, but almost as soon as he fell asleep, he felt like someone was basically sitting on his chest, preventing him from moving. He was also gasping for air, and it took him quite a bit of effort to shake off the feeling. He dismissed it as sleep paralysis and went back to sleep. But this time he felt as if it was 2 people sitting on him. The weight was unbearable, and he tried to yell, but could not. After much struggle, he was able to get out of bed, and now the voices sounded like they were yelling at him, but he still could not make out what they were saying. He immediately rushed out of the room and went to the reception. The person who assigned him the room at the reception earlier that night was unavailable. It was a different receptionist that was there, a lady. When this new receptionist asked Viraj what had occurred, he narrated the entire incident to her. He also told her there was no way he was ever going back to that room. It was then that the new receptionist told Viraj that around a month ago, a family of 6 people came and slept in that room for a night, ingested poison, and the entire family committed suicide in the room. Since then, the hotel management stopped giving out the room to anyone. However, because no rooms were available when Viraj arrived, the earlier receptionist gave him the room, perhaps because he did not think there will be any problem. But, as it turned out, Viraj had the most frightening experience of his life. He was still very shaken when I spoke to him, and he still would not dare enter the room again, even with me present, and even after sunrise. And he would not even allow me to enter the room. It was the new receptionist who eventually got his luggage from the room, and we went to a different hotel. Several years later, the hotel is still there. I hear that even now, they aren't allocating that particular room to anyone. And that at night, voices can still be heard coming from inside the room.